Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm here with a post-vacation holiday sewing update. After a long absence from sewing, maybe a vacation or, lifing, do you ease back into sewing or do you go whole hog?
To be back in the sewing cave is absolutely exciting. Um, I just want to share with you a couple of things that I think I'm going to work on first, kind of to get the juices flowing and get ready for the holidays. I think I want to start with just something non-complicated. I'm going to work on this simplicity pattern here. It's a nice blouse. And, I always have a deficit with blouse, so I'm excited to work on that. And the fabric that I'll be using is this cow print from the stash. I purchased this in Joann's last year to end the season, so I'm excited to work on that. And I do believe I'm going to work on a holiday dress. So I haven't made a holiday dress before, but I'm excited about that as well. And I picked up this green velour at the end of season last year from Joann's as well. It's really nice. It's a nice velour. I've never worked with velour before, so this will be my first time. I'll be excited to share those details with you. And the pattern that I have in mind for that one is this Vogue 1929. And I'll be working on the dress here. So since I have not worked with this pattern or worked with velvet before, I will be making a muslin just to make sure that I get the fit right and then test working on some scraps with the velvet to make sure that I am able to work with that and I don't have any issues.
I am excited to share with you my progress on my post-vacation holiday sewing plans. So, for my first project after my vacation, um, was to do this Simplicity 12133 top. I actually did this view here, view C. And guys, I'm actually wearing it. I think it came out lovely. I wanted a project that was going to be non complicated, a relatively quick sew, and using fabric from my stash. For this pattern, I did view C. I chose to do the view with the like a smaller neck and the ruffle sleeve, which I think is really nice. I was able to use fabric from my stash, which is what the goal that I had. I found that this came together again relatively quickly. It was non-complicated. I was able to put the do the construction on my serger. Most of it, I would say 90% of it on my serger, and then for the zipper, of course, I had to use my zipper foot and do that for that installation of the zipper. And I chose this one, and especially this view, is I like the cuff, the ruffle cuff, and it was actually a smaller cuff, so I feel like it finished like right here at like where your wrist and your hand meet at that break point. So I didn't feel like the cuff was getting in the way of anything that I wanted to do, right, cook, eat. So it was actually a really good length for me. And I also chose to keep the edges raw because where it finished was absolutely perfect. And because it's a knit fabric, it will not ravel. So I didn't have any problems with that. So I was able to finish the top in time to wear to Thanksgiving. So I was able to wear with Thanksgiving, where I paired it with a pair of jeans and some ankle boots and was quite comfortable. Actually got lots of compliments on it. They were surprised that I was even able to finish a project in a short amount of time, which is why I wanted to ease into it, get those juices flowing, and get back into sewing. I would consider this project or this pattern, the Simplicity R12133, a beginner friendly. I love that it does have the options and the variations with the sleeve length and the ruffle length, as well as the neck. You can do the low collar, you can do a mock collar. I am absolutely excited to bring to you my dress for the holidays. Look at it. And all of this velvetly deliciousness. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, she came out beautifully, beautifully. So, for my holiday dress, I decided to use Vogue 1929 I did the dress, and ladies and gents, she's just absolutely beautiful. I loved it. This is my first time working with velvet, so I did have to do a little research on how to work with velvet, get myself acclimated with the steps that I needed to take to make sure that I produced a garment that I would be proud to make, proud to wear, and proud to share with you. The green velvet fabric that I purchased for this dress is actually from my local Joann's. I purchased it at the end of the season, last season, so I got a really good price on it. And just excited to make this. Like I said, I have never worked with velvet, so I wanted to, I pulled out my walking foot. I pulled out my instruction manual. I attached the walking foot. I practiced some practice stitching. I'm going to show you those videos now so you can see that I actually tested the stitches, tested working out with the velvet to make sure that I would be comfortable during the construction. And one of the things that I also learned when I was researching how to work with the velvet was to, when I cut it out, to I used one of my old sheets, or one of the sheets that I got. If you saw my unconventional fabric haul video where I had was gifted a bunch of linens and sheets from a friend, I used a sheet to on my cutting table, and then I laid the fabric on top of that, cutting it in a single layer, making sure that the nape was all in one direction, and it would enable the fabric to not shift as I was doing the layout and cutting it out.
All right, guys, I'm going to start on my holiday dress. Since I'm working with the velour fabric and it's a fabric that I have not worked with before, I did some reading and research on how to cut this out. Fortunately, I have a project that is has few pieces to be sewn. And one of the things they said was lay it out on the velour on a sheet or tissue paper. So if you watch my unconventional fabric haul, you know I have lots of sheets from that project, and I will be laying this out in a single layer.
Here's me using the walking foot and putting that on. I am testing out the stitches, trying to determine which stitch length would be best for me to use.
So I wanted to test the stitches on the velvet before I got started. Because like I said, this is my first time actually working with velvet. Of course, I had to pull out the manual guide of my machine to attach the walking foot. See it there. Here's the, the book and the tools. I'll pull that out. So this is what I've come up with. Over here, so it's a little bit more light. Sorry about that. So I did a straight stitch here, and I put a little note up here at the 2.5 stitch length. I thought that was a little too tight. I didn't like how that looked. So then I tried it with the 3-point stitch length, and I like that a lot better. This is just a dividing line, so I can have it side by side. Over here, I did the stitch with the walking foot. So I have WF up here with the walking foot at 3.0. I like that. And I said, you know what, since it is a velvet, it has a little stretch, let me try it with my serger. So here I did it with the serger. Let's turn these over. You see there was a little pooling here when I did that one, so I know what that was. This is the 2.5, this is the 3.0, and then this is the walking foot here, and then a serging. So I don't know which one I'm going to use. Because it's a knit, I will gravitate towards using my serger as much as possible. Because there are other places where I won't be able to use it. So we'll see, but whatever it will be, I don't think I need the walking foot. I felt comfortable with it sewing, taking my time, and the 3.0 stitch. So it's either going to be the serging and the stitching at the 3.0.
Of course, I had a hiccup. Watch this next segment in the video and see what I did.
Okay, as you can see, I'm making progress on cutting out my pieces. This is the last piece, and we have a problem. Not enough fabric. So I have to solve for it. What do I do? Ooh. So I'm going to share what I am going to do to fix this piece. You know, there may be ways out there that are better, simpler, or whatever, but to me, this will work. One thing I will say I'm happy is that it is on a back piece, so it will be in the back and on one side, so hopefully it won't be noticeable. But I cut an extra piece of fabric, made sure that the what does it call it? The weft or the smoothness was going in the same direction. Made sure it was wide enough, so from here to here, and I pinned it right sides together. I did a half inch, well, a quarter inch on each side. So I measured up a half inch and I put my pins in here. So what I will do is go in and when I'm ready to sew this together, so to create one seam line, a line, and add that piece. So the plan is when it folds back, once I sew it together, so there's my pattern piece. And now I can cut this out now, and then I can go back and sew my seam together. And then hopefully, once this is sewn together, you will not even be able to see that in the back. So that is the plan. We'll see how it turns out.
I'm so glad I was able to save and fix my mistake. But it happens. I think we learn from, our mistakes. And not every fix is fixed. Everyone approaches how to make a correction the same way. And I showed you like what I did to fix the problem for me. And when you see me in the dress, you can't even tell that there was even a problem. It doesn't look like I had any errors at all. The fit check, I think she's looking great. I'm excited. I think with that fit check, I was like, oh yes, this is going to be absolutely beautiful. So let me know what you think. How do I look in the dress? I think she's ready for the holidays. Yes? Yes. Absolutely beautiful. I would highly recommend Vogue 1929. The pattern is absolutely wonderful. It is non complicated. So I would say that it is beginner friendly. There are not a lot of seams to it. So actually doing a velour or a velvet, this was the absolute perfect pattern to do that with. Just take your time, read the instructions. Absolutely do a muslin because you don't want to mess with your fabric when you're working with it. But I give it two thumbs up and a twist. So yeah, so I'm very excited to wear this. First, it's going to be worn to church, and it'll be definitely worn to the holiday parties. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day and happy sewing.